Take my hand and start a brand new day. And together as one we'll start to see some change. Take my hand and start a brand new day. Together as one we'll be stronger in every way. Take my hand and start a brand new day. Together as one we'll be stronger in every way.
My name is Dudley Williams, and I have the honor of serving as chair of the Stamford Council of the United Way. And I want, on behalf of everyone associated with the United Way, I want to thank you all for taking the time to come out this afternoon to join us at our community luncheon. This afternoon is Congressman Jim Himes, and I would like to ask him to say a few words if he doesn't mind.
Dudley, thank you, and let me thank each and every one of you individually, but also the firms and corporations that you represent for being here today to do a couple of things. First, to honor a couple of very, very worthy people. Eugene Campbell and the Yearwood Center. If you haven't been around Yearwood, you need to go and you need to visit, because Eugene and his management team and the people of Yearwood are doing God's work in trying to address some of the toughest challenges that we see in the state of Connecticut, frankly, that we see in the country. Trying to address kids who are dropping out of school, trying to address challenges within families that are living in poverty, trying to address those things that here in Fairfield County we don't perhaps see as often as you might if you didn't go visit places like the Yearwood Center. Eugene, congratulations on this award. Congratulations to the people of Yearwood. Keep it up. You're doing wonderful, wonderful work. Shirley Fishback, if you haven't met Shirley, you need to meet Shirley. The program says something hilarious, which is that retirement means different things to different people. For Shirley, it meant working harder than ever before to give back to the community of Stamford. And that's where I come back to thank you for all being here. Thank you very much, Dudley. Thank you for your leadership of this organization. And let's keep it up. Worthy, worthy causes.
Thank you. Through the combined efforts of so many of you who are here today, through giving, through advocacy, and through volunteering, we are truly making an impact on the lives of so many people in this community. And in fact, we are here today to acknowledge two individuals, Eugene Campbell and Shirley Fishback, who have taken up the call to advocate and volunteer in very big ways. Today we'll also learn about and acknowledge 11 amazing companies, one of them including my company, that works to improve the lives in Stamford through their generous corporate support and the volunteer activities of so many of their employees. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the Mayor of Stamford and a great supporter of the United Way, the Honorable Michael Pavia.
Congratulate not only the United Way of Western Connecticut, but I also want to congratulate the companies that are here and every one of you that participates as actively as you do in making Stamford a wonderful place. So please, thank you. My proclamation reads as follows. Whereas the City of Stamford is proud to recognize the United Way of Western Connecticut as they present their community awards to outstanding citizens and corporations. And whereas the United Way of Western Connecticut is honoring their donors and volunteers for their exemplary work, tireless effort, and unwavering support for the entire community. Now therefore, I, Michael Pavia, Mayor of the City of Stamford, do hereby proclaim Wednesday, April 11th, 2012, to be United Way Community Awards Day and on behalf of a grateful city of Stamford, thank the honorees for reaching and touching so many lives for the purpose of building a better Stamford. I congratulate the United Way of Western Connecticut for their hard work, commitment, and dedication to our community. Thank you very much.
I'm Ruth Fetter, and I am the chair of the board of the United Way of Western Connecticut. And in that capacity, I have to say today is one of my most joyful days, because none of the work that we all do would happen without all of you sitting in this room. So we thank all of you. And I have the luxury and the honor of being able to present the Give Awards. The Give Award is given to our largest corporate campaign contributors. That means both the employee contributions as well as the corporate contributions. And we thank all of you for your tremendous support, your commitment, ongoing commitment, and your annual giving. And it's because of you that we're able to improve the lives of the individuals living in the community of Stamford. The first of our award recipients, the Bank of America. Bank of America has not only had strong employee support for the United Way campaign, they also have a $20,000 contribution to a charitable foundation contribution that is given to the regional United Ways, and they did a 50 cent on the dollar match, so strong showing on all fronts. So if we could hear a round of applause for Bank of America. Somebody come up, please. Thank you. Our next award recipient for the Give Award is Deloitte. Deloitte has given to us in many ways, both in terms of dollars and in terms of talent. And you will see in your materials that we are going to honor Harry Hurwitz, who is the senior executive at the Deloitte Stamford office and a longtime supporter of the United Way. And he is going to be honored at, he is the recipient of this year's Community Inspiration Award. And also in terms of just the organization at whole, has a long commitment of skills-based volunteering. So we've had members from that organization sit on our council, on a number of our different committees, and Mo Reynolds, one of the employees, was also honored here last year. So we thank Deloitte for their contribution of time and talent and their commitment to their community. So somebody from Deloitte, please, could come up. And next up, we have First County Bank receiving an award today. While they may not be our largest employer in the Stamford area in terms of headcount, they are mighty in terms of their commitment to the community. They have a long-standing foundation that has contributed to our community, and this year they've also initiated one of their new employee onboard processing. So employees are informed about ways that they can get involved in the community right from the day they start working with the organization. So we thank you for your commitment and your contribution. Somebody from First County, I think. And next, our next award recipient is GE. We're going to put all those entities into one, because otherwise I think we'll be here through dinner time. But as a combined entity, just a powerhouse supporter of the community. And this year was a very strong year. Their campaign was up 5%. They were up 8% in terms of donor participation, and not an easy year to have pulled off those accomplishments. So we really applaud their commitment and their follow-through. And they do a number of campaigns that they run in terms of community activities as well, in terms of, they do a 5K race, they do, well, I want to do this. I was never invited to the karaoke event, but they host raffles, so they are high in spirit as well. So if somebody from GE could come up and receive the award, we would appreciate it. Thank you. Our next recipient is Genworth Financial. Genworth also sounds like a fun place to work. They also host a number of events. They do an annual bake-off. They do Office Olympics. They had a mini golf competition this year, a silent auction, a book drive, so an awful lot of creativity is going into that organization. And they're a year-round Day of Action participant, so they routinely put their time behind their commitment to making a difference in the community. So thank you, Genworth. Our next recipient is Nestle Waters North America, new to our community and came in with a bang. So their campaign is up 9% in terms of their contributions, and they do a dollar-for-dollar match, which we greatly appreciate. And they recently started an annual United Way rally to generate excitement around their campaign. So a big thank you for Nestle Waters. If somebody. Our next recipient is Pitney Bowes, a very long-time supporter of the United Way and of Stamford community. Recently they've donated $25,000 for our Imagination Library program to help kids with their early literacy initiative. And that's a partnership with the Dolly Parton Foundation. They also participate within the grant review process and help us make sure that the dollars, help us be good stewards for the dollars and make sure that the dollars are put to the best use in the community. So a big thanks to Pitney Bowes for their long-time support and contribution. PricewaterhouseCoopers had a very impressive campaign this year. They were up 14% in their employee giving, which is just fantastic. In addition, they promote community volunteerism and they recently held a volunteer fair in which they promoted different ways in which you can be involved in the community, and we participated in that. I also know they do some cultivation among their leadership in terms of board representation and involvement in the community. So a big thanks to PricewaterhouseCoopers. Again, another name that I'm not sure anybody who's ever stood at this podium hasn't mentioned in the context of the Stamford community, Purdue Pharma. So for their long-time support, both of the United Way and the community at large, they do a dollar-for-dollar matching with their employees. And they have been long-time participants in the United Way Community Council, and they also volunteered in helping to plan the first United Way annual Day of Caring in Stamford, which is something that a number of you participated in, but that was really the brainchild, and a lot of support came from Purdue Pharma to make that happen. So a big thanks to Purdue Pharma. The next recipient is the Stamford Board of Education, who is both a partner to us in implementing the work and executing the work we do in the community, but they also are a big supporter of dollars, and their campaign was up 18% this year in terms of employee giving, and 20 public schools participated. So a big thanks to the Board of Ed. And last but most definitely not least is Webster Bank. Regionally, Webster Bank raised $1.2 million for United Way campaign, which is an outstanding number. They had 62% of their employees participate in the campaign, and their individual donations increased 7% this year. So really a fantastic team effort. They also have quite a few leadership donors, 168 donors at the leadership level of $1,000 or more, and actually 11 donors to the Tocqueville Society. So we give a huge round of thanks as well to Webster Bank. Thank you again to all of our Give Award recipients.
I have the pleasure right now of giving the Volunteer Award, and I know a lot has already been said about Shirley Fishback, this year's recipient of the Volunteer Award. Let me tell you a little bit about Shirley that you may or may not know. When Shirley retired from a local market research firm about 17 years ago, she looked to stay active, and she looked for a volunteer position in the community. Shirley wanted to contribute to the Stamford community, and she made the decision to volunteer with the United Way, and that has been a decision that has redounded to the benefit of this community in so many ways. Shirley has been just an incredibly passionate, engaged volunteer with the United Way in so many different ways. She has chaired the Fund Distribution Committee, and when she hasn't chaired the committee, she's been an incredibly active participant in the committee. She has been a board member and is currently a board member for the United Way of Western Connecticut. She has been an active member of the Stamford Community Council. Shirley, in addition to all of her United Way activities, as I think you've already heard, has been president of the Doral Farm Homeowners Association, a board member of the Judaic and Middle Eastern Studies of UConn Stamford, and previously served on the board of the Leo Beck Temple in the greater Los Angeles area, if I'm not mistaken. It has been an absolute privilege for me to be a volunteer and to partner with Shirley in some of the great work that she has done for the United Way. Shirley has more energy and more commitment and more passion than just about any other person that I've had the pleasure to volunteer with. So it is quite an honor, and I was really excited, quite frankly, when I was asked to present this award to Shirley Fishback. Congratulations.
Thank you, Andy, for those. Is this coming through? Okay. Thank you for those lovely, lovely words. I really appreciate it. And I want to tell you that I am very touched and very appreciative of the award that you're giving me today. It means a tremendous amount to me. You know, over these 17 years, the opportunity I've had to be associated with the United Way has been completely rewarding to me. Kim Morgan, who is our CEO, likes to say that I represent the history of the United Way in Stamford. And she's probably right, because I seem to have outlasted everyone who ever was here when I started. But over the course of these years, the United Way has evolved from a body that was perceived as just collecting and giving money to various worthy agencies. It's a nice thing. But we're at today's model, where we are more proactively determined to make a significant impact toward making the lives of the people in our community better and stronger. So the challenge is, how do we do that? United Way Western Connecticut has chosen to put greater emphasis on 3 initiatives. First, on programs leading to better health and focusing primarily on children's health and wellness. One emphasis is on programs that teach parents how important it is for their children to eat more healthily, and the fact that both they and their children need to be much more active physically. Children who are alert with strong, healthy bodies do much better in school and certainly prevent serious physical problems as they get older. So, for example, United Way is partnering with Children's Learning Center on Healthy Bodies, an educational nutrition and exercise program teaching about 1,000 students and their families about the importance of a healthy lifestyle. The children learn from the CLC staff, and equally important, the parents are very much involved, completely involved, taking health cooking workshops and health food workshops and dancing, and in general, just learning how to provide a healthy environment for their families. Secondly, we are emphasizing education, focusing on early literacy and giving our children a strong start. And this one is very dear to my heart, because I remember so well how I used to love to read with my children and take them to the library to pick out their own books. You know, children need to have a love of learning. They have to have a love of reading. Children's minds are like sponges. They soak up every little bit of information if only they're exposed to it. So what we really have to do is be sure that we have programs that get them ready for school and ready to learn. For example, programs like Born Learning, where adults interact with children while talking, playing, singing, and in general making learning fun for them and their children. And of course, programs like Imagination Library, where children under the age of 4 receive a free book once a month so that they can build their own library. And of course, we have to be sure that the parents can read with them so that they will really enjoy this thing together. Because if children keep up in school and they stay in school, later in the future, when they're looking for jobs, when jobs are available, they will be qualified to fill them. And Imagination Library has been extremely successful in Northern Fairfield, and it is starting in New Milford. We need it in Stamford, but it requires a major commitment to launch and sustain it. And the third initiative is probably the most important. We need to focus on financial stability so that families can manage their lives without the stress that is both defeating and debilitating. We must continue focusing on programs dealing with job training, affordable housing, helping with fending off foreclosure, and teaching families how to manage their incomes so that they can live without worry. Because a family that feels safe is a nurturing family, and a family that provides for a meaningful life for all their children. And on top of all this, we still need to support programs that take care of basic needs in our community, because these programs are targeted toward others that need them and depend on them to help make them have a life worth living. But you know, all of this will happen, and here's why. Because we have many, many partners to ensure that it happens, and most of them are in this room. Our business and corporate partners who have given us strong and continued support and who have been honored here today. Our donors who understand what we are doing and are willing to give and partner with us to make the programs that are working. Our partner agencies which have developed strong programs that will bring these initiatives to fruition. Our dedicated volunteers who believe in what we're trying to accomplish and give so many hours to make it work. Our city agencies and our city institutions who partner with us because they also want this to happen as much as we do. And last but definitely not least, our fabulous staff, without whom nothing would happen. Yes, it will happen. That's our goal and our promise, and I feel very privileged to have been a part of it. Thank you again for this honor.
Thank you, Shirley. We're very honored to volunteer with such dedication and passion for us. I'm Kim Morgan. I'm the interim CEO and the Chief Operating Officer for United Way. I am wearing green today in honor of the Yearwood Center, because if you've been to the Yearwood Center, you will know that it is brightly colored green, which to me, when I walked into the center, immediately spoke of new growth and prosperity. I had the opportunity to tour this bright and positive center. And as I toured, I saw children engaged in a variety of activities with volunteers and teachers and paid staff. Eugene Campbell spent some time with me talking about all the programs that the Yearwood Center does. And then he summed it up in a few words. He said, our mission is to ensure these children have career options. Now that is vision. Eugene sees 6 or 7 or 8-year-olds enter the center, and he is already thinking, what will that child do when he or she gets older? What skills do we need to teach now to ensure that that can happen? Many people look at what is happening today, and they lose sight of the potential for tomorrow. Eugene Campbell doesn't. But it goes even further, because vision without action is irrelevant. Today we are honoring Eugene with our Advocacy Award. Why? Because he puts vision into action. The last part of my tour was the teen room. Were the teens hanging out, watching a video, doing a fun activity? No. They were in work groups, planning how they would run the center next week. They were in charge of running the day camp while the schools are closed. That is vision in action. The skills these teens would need for a career were being fine-tuned in the work they were doing today: leadership, teamwork, and decision-making. Skills many young people don't have today, and they aren't prepared. But if they attend the Yearwood Center, they will be. Eugene has devoted his life to putting his vision into action, helping youth and families have access to better opportunities. He's worked at the Children's Zone in Harlem, CTE, the Boys and Girls Club, and now Yearwood. We thank him for his life's work and dedicate this year's Advocate Award to him. Before I ask Eugene to come up, a young man named Sandro Berlome, where is he? Would like to say a few words.
Hello, everyone. I would like to start off by saying thank you, by saying how blessed I am to know somebody like Mr. Campbell. I don't really see a lot of people going out of their ways to help others in need like he does. Most people are more concerned about me, myself, and I, but he puts others' problems and emotions before his own. He's just that person that will ask you, how can I help you, sir? What do you need? And a true leader to the community, that's the kind of person he is. Someone that others can really look up to. Most people lead by brute words and really end up getting nothing done. But him, he take the initiative by taking the first step and going in front of the lines and getting stuff done and letting you yourself to follow. His actions are what really persuaded me to follow him. And other people like myself do not really need an invitation to follow somebody like that. I would like to say how privileged I am to know you, Mr. Campbell, and congratulations on your award. And by the way, Saturday is his 55th birthday, and I hope everybody sends him a gift. Thank you.
Surprise, surprise, you know. I first want to say that I am truly honored, and I am humbled. Oh my goodness, all the young people in the back. Those are my real bosses back there, and I want to thank them. I know the hour is late and I won't be long, but I want to first, I'd like to recognize my staff who have stuck with me through thick and thin. Whether we had a nickel in the bank, we have 0 staff turnover. People are committed to this. This is not a job, this is a movement, what we need to do to save these young people. And I want to recognize my board. Where else could you get paid to do what you love? And so I'd like to let my board members to stand. Board members, stand. Yeah, don't be shy. Board members, staff, and the young people that are in the back. The hour is late and I won't be long. The first thing I want to say to my sister organization, the United Way of Western Connecticut, and Kim and Gail and Jennifer and Sandy, the reason I know them on a first name basis because we are partners in this work together. I stand here not alone, but by the fact that they have assisted Yearwood with strategic planning. They've assisted us with board development, staff development. So the last thing that you would want to do is call this a pass-through organization. As a matter of fact, sometimes it feels like a federal inquiry when they come in and they want to see your books and they want to see how many kids that you are serving. But I live united because they make us stronger. The thing that I want to do, and any time that I see Dudley Williams and Phil McCain and Bill Callion, I'm reminded there's a responsibility that my generation has to the generation before us. I humbly accept this, but not on behalf of me, but at the fact that in 1926, Charles Yearwood, a successful practicing physician, in Austin, Texas, during the height of segregation, had two talented daughters, Connie and Ursula. They traveled with their father as he provided medicine to many in the community who needed, but he was also an advocate, fighting against tuberculosis, fighting against segregation. They were so inspired by him that they decided to pick up the mantle and become doctors themselves. Connie stayed in Texas and became the first female physician at the Texas Department of Health. But it was Ursula that we were so blessed with. Ursula followed Joseph Carwin to Stamford and decided to open up her own practice, and we knew her affectionately as Ursula Joyce Yearwood Carwin. I'm standing here today saying, Dr. Yearwood, we are committed to fulfilling your vision. And some people ask, why is Yearwood at the courthouse? Why is Yearwood at foster care? Why is Yearwood in the public housing? Because any good doctor knows you have to go where the sick are. You can't wait for them to come to you. Some people ask, are you still on your mission? The children you serve are more diverse than when you originally founded. Every good doctor knows you take an oath to save every life if humanly possible. So our vision is to work with these young people so that they won't be like W.A. Alden's poem, The Unknown Citizen, just simply statistics, no names. We want to put a face and a name onto each and every one of them. So I remind them that the opportunities are theirs. When Frederick Douglass talked about struggle and sacrifice and overcoming, he's talking about you. When Thomas Jefferson said that we hold these truths to be self-evident, all men are created equal and credited by their Creator with certain invaluable qualities, he's talking about you. When Robert Frost talks about the road not taken, two roads lie ahead of me. Which road shall I take? If I take the road less traveled, it may make all the difference. That's our objective, to get these young people to take the road less traveled. So I am honored. I am humbled, but I accept this award on behalf of all those who worked with Dr. Yearwood to lay the first brick in Yearwood. And I want to say, Dr. Yearwood, we continue your work, we continue your mission. God bless you.
I'd just like to acknowledge my mother.
I'd like to acknowledge 3 groups in the room who have helped United Way achieve the vision of mobilizing resources to improve lives. Thank you to our donors, to all our companies that are here today. All of you worked hard to provide opportunity to others, your coworkers, to donate and make a difference. And to the companies that encourage philanthropy and take the time to ask others to join them, we thank you. And thank you to our agencies in the room. If you're with an agency, can you just raise your hand? Thank you. social service providers in the room have the hardest but most rewarding jobs. They listen every day to the story of people's lives who have been shattered by trauma, impacted by poverty, and have no hope. And they put their vision into action. This year we had a record number of agencies participate in our workplace campaign, not to raise money just for their own group, but employees gave to our general fund because they recognize the full safety net that needs to be in place in our community. Problems are complex, and we need a coordinated system to solve them. So thank you very much to our agencies. And finally, to our volunteers, thank you. You have put your vision into action with your intellectual capital and your time. This year, United Way will be laser focused on how we engage volunteers to accomplish our mission. We need to get children ready for school so they have a better future. Encourage healthy children so we don't face the health and economic crisis looming ahead due to the childhood obesity epidemic. And we need volunteers to help our social services who have been depleted of their financial resources and ask, how will I be able to help today with resources so scarce? We call this volunteer mobilization, working together towards a common goal with a vision in action. Thank you very much for joining us today. We hope that you find your purpose and get your vision into action. Thank you very much.